Dear friends, we are talking about genius and how one becomes a genius, how one can explore the unique talent, and in the long run, how one becomes a genius. That is what is said. And when we consider the whole world, we find that in Western countries we find more geniuses, and in the East you cannot find that number of geniuses. Most of the inventors of the world are from the West, not from the East. And why it happens? In the field of sports also you find better people not in India but in other parts of the world. And why this is happening? Because their focus is to become a genius, and in the case of Indians there is a speciality. What is the speciality of Indians? In what way Indians are relevant? The relevance of Indians is that even though we cannot find more geniuses in India, we find people who realized in the sense people who are ending the life, that means the birth and death cycle of life, that is that is ended in the case of all Indian rishis. So the rishis have a contribution, that is the knowledge of the self. The knowledge of the self is something different that happens through meditation, through penance. So, for penance, for meditation, we need a culture, and that culture we find in India. And we have a lot of rishis who have realized their end of life, or they reached moksha. And moksha is one of the aims of life, and that when you reach that aim, what happens? You become totally free in life. The total freedom happens through moksha. The word moksha itself means freedom. So that is possible through a different life. That means a scientist is giving focus to all experiments in life, and a spiritual scientist, as a man who is a spiritual, working with spiritual science or Eastern science, what we find in the case of such people who are spiritually higher people, their focus is not on experiments. They are focusing on another experiment. Another experiment means experiment of ourselves. We are experimenting ourselves means we are trying to find out what is really within us. That means regarding our body, regarding there are three bodies in us according to Eastern perspective. One is a gross body, second is a subtle body, and third is a casual body. And above all these three bodies, we have a spirit. So, how to know all these three bodies and how can we reach the realm of spirit? That is possible through nishkama karma. That means a desireless action. So when we reach zero desire, then only we can reach the realm of consciousness, realm of universal consciousness. In the case of all geniuses, there is no question of reaching the realm of consciousness, because their real content is their power to reach a particular level through a habit. Habit may be their instinct. Working with an instinct, they reach the highest level. And here, what we need is we have to negate the instincts. Only when we negate our instincts, then only we reach a level of desirelessness. And when we reach a level of zero desire, then only we can enter the realm of spirit. So it is quite opposite. On the part of Westerners, we find they are focusing on their instinct. Here we are releasing ourselves from all the instincts. When we are totally released from instinct, then only a Jivatma is tuned with Paramatma. A Jivatma is merging with Paramatma only when he is free from, the person is free from all instincts. For example, we can consider the Jivatma as a wave in the ocean and Paramatma as the ocean. The wave remains apart from the ocean, and how the wave becomes ocean when consider the wave as water, and that water, what's the content of the water? The content of the water we can consider as the instincts in a person. When a person is totally free from all instincts, what happens? When the whatever water content is in the wave, when that content is totally released, it merges with the ocean and it becomes oceanic. In the same way, when we are free from all the vasanas or the instincts, then our individual consciousness merges with the universal consciousness. That is moksha. That happens when in another way. That means one is the way towards karma, another is the way towards naishkarmyam, or in other words, we are free from karma. That means with karma we cannot reach moksha. With nishkama karma or absence of karma, only we can reach moksha. These are the two ways. One way is called pravarti, the other is nivritti. Nivritti is the way to moksha. Through nivritti only we can reach moksha. So these are the two aspects. A genius is becoming genius because of the instincts, and a person is realized because of the negation of all the instincts. The ways are totally different. That's why in Western countries we find all the geniuses, and in East we cannot find such geniuses. We may find realized people here. So the realization is something different, but it is one of the greatest achievements of man. So we were talking about two aspects. One is the genius of the West and the genius of the East. So thank God for enabling me to talk to you. Thank Guru also for enabling me to talk to you. Thanks to you all for listening me. Thank you very much.